What up, gamers? Been a long time since I've made a more ramble style video. Mostly just done like progress vids for the last few years, but I just had a few topics today that I wanted to talk about. Not really related to just pure progress in the account, but related to recent events and whatnot. And I thought it'd be nice to start maybe making ramble videos again once in a while because those are videos that I like listening to while I'm skilling from other people. So yeah, I have a few topics that have come around the same time that I just wanted to talk about. Um, First things first, a few months ago, I made a video about talking about how I suspected that I am autistic, and a lot of people commented about how, without a diagnosis, blah, 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 this or that, which some of it was more constructive than others, but today I finally did get a result of diagnosis. I spoke with a therapist, and they did the ADOS with me along with a interview, and also spoke with some members of my family who could like answer questions about what I was like as a child, and that all resulted in a positive diagnosis. So we could be pretty confident that I am autistic. If you're curious and haven't watched the video, it's 2 videos ago, so feel free to watch it if you want to hear more about that. But yeah, I thought people might be interested to hear that, and it's kind of a nice validation for me. I no longer have to have that sort of doubt in the back of my mind that maybe I'm not, and maybe all of my problems are a result of something else. Not all of my problems, but it explains a lot about me and about my life and things that I've struggled with throughout my life. So it's a sort of a weight off my shoulders, and I feel happy about it. So first time I've recorded any clips of me woodcutting here at Verret Castle 301. This is the new spot for AFK and use because of forestry, which most of you have probably heard of by this point. New woodcutting update. It's been a little over a week. I guess it was a week yesterday since they released forestry, which for free to play, it basically just means up to 10 people chopping a tree means up to a plus 10 invisible woodcutting boost. So slightly increased logs chopped if you're chopping a tree with other people, and other people chopping the same tree doesn't affect. I just ragged this dude. GG. Doesn't affect. Now he ragged me. Rude. What was I saying? It doesn't affect the tree depletion rate, so it's just a timer now from when the first person chops the tree, which is actually extremely annoying, and I fucking hate it, because as soon as a tree respawns, this motherfucker is chopping it, even though everybody should just be chopping this tree, and then when this goes down, we switch to this one. But now these two are going to go down like at a similar time probably. So yeah, it's actually awful. But I guess the old mechanics would also be awful for a lot of people chopping the same trees, so I don't know what the best solution is. And aside from that, there's 2 free-to-play forestry events, which are sapling and rising roots. Roots are just, you chop roots that spawn on the ground and they move around for a few minutes, and there's one that gives like twice as much XP, and you can spawn snow and 3-tick those, pretty fast XP. And then the other one is sapling, where there's 5 different piles that spawn, and you collect combinations of 3 items and find the correct combination. And in a lot of cases, it's not even worth it to do the best combination because they're too far away, so then you do like the second best or something like that. And they nerfed the XP of sapling a lot yesterday. It used to be 265 XP for the perfect combo and 185 for second best, and now it's 185 for perfect and like 108 for second best. And there's an XP drop at the end that used to be like 4 to 5k, and now it's max like 3k. So I think that's good. The sapling was like insane XP per hour. Like the best in slot sapling was like 500k XP an hour, and average sapling was probably like 300k, and now it's probably more like 200k average or so, which is still high, but they're kind of infrequent, and it's not like you can do them. Well, maybe you can do them for all your woodcutting XP if you like bank stand or have an alt scouting and just train other skills and run to do saplings when they spawn. Some people have been testing that and it seems pretty good, but at least it's not as insane as it was. People were getting like 150k an hour plus in free to play last week before they nerfed it, which is just crazy. Just like running around to different spots and woodcutting while like having downtime. So still, I mean, I like, who asked for this update? I don't want it. I'd rather they just never made this update. I was perfectly happy just AFKing you solo in Remington. But whatever. It's for free to play irons. It actually doesn't even affect DHP at all because woodcutting's already 0 time. So yeah, it really just means for me that I can get the rest of my woodcutting XP that I wouldn't get from fire making pretty quick, just passively doing the events. So I don't have to end up with like 200 mil fire making, 175 mil woodcutting, and then have to do like 250 hours of teaks or willows, or not teaks, oaks or willows, and get 0 HP. So instead I just get 0 HP while I'm doing sapling events, but at least they're faster XP per hour. I think the sapling events themselves are actually kind of fun to do. There's a little bit of strategy to find the best pathing, somewhat click intensive, and it's different every time, which makes it kind of interesting. But does it feel like woodcutting? No, not at all. It's just picking up shit from a pile. It doesn't even use an axe. So I don't know. It's just weird. Totally weird update. Like, why did they do this? I just don't understand, but whatever. I haven't tried any of the pay-to-play stuff yet, so can't comment on that. And part 2 of forestry is coming in September, so who knows what will happen then. That's when they're doing like the campfires and the teas, where you use the tree leaves to add to those to get buffs. But the tree leaves are pay to play. There was actually a bug I can show you. On day 1, you could get leaves as a reward from the sapling event. So I got 20 magic leaves and 20 U leaves before they patched that. After like within probably like 5 hours of the update, they patched it. You get a chat box message that says you've received a reward members object. So that's funny. But yeah, you have to use the leaves to make the campfires or the teas, and those are pay to play. So I assume they'll be pay to play, which I hope so, because those could have big impacts, who knows what, on free to play. The main question, I guess, is whether they'll add any free to play rewards, because right now you can't actually do anything with the bark in free to play, and also whether they'll add any more forestry events that are free to play accessible. So I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, but I'll probably just keep AFKing these, because whatever. So yeah, that's forestry. The woodcutting to fire make ratio is just crazy now. Before yesterday's update, I was getting usually close to 3-to-1 woodcutting to fire making. So like 100k an hour woodcutting and like 35k fire making or something. Now I'm maybe getting like 2-to-1, which is still crazy. I kind of thought I would be getting maybe an extra like 10k XP an hour, but it's still like plus 40k easily, which is insane. So once I get a certain amount of woodcutting XP, another thing, so you guys just see that? They made some weird change to woodcutting mechanics so that when a tree goes down, you get a woodcutting roll on the tick that it depletes regardless of where you are in the cycle. So right then I think I like 2-ticked because the tree went down 2 ticks after my last roll, and I happened to roll a success on both. You don't notice it as much with yews because the success rate is pretty low, but you probably notice it on like teaks or willows or whatever. Really weird. I don't know why they did that. And also, like, when the tree goes, or when your inventory fills up, you continue the chopping animation for a few ticks, and it used to be that you would immediately stop it. Just weird stuff like that. I don't know why they need to go and mess with woodcutting mechanics that have been unchanged for like forever, basically. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what happens when there's so many people here, is both trees go down at the same time because people are just being stupid. It's so annoying. So last thing to talk about, I haven't gained any fishing or cooking XP in like almost a month. And that is because I have been having wrist problems, which started, about a month ago. I was working a lot of extra hours. I work as a software engineer, so I'm on the computer all day, and I was doing. Basically, there was an issue at work. Everyone was asked to stop what they were doing and try to resolve this thing before proceeding with whatever the team was doing. So everybody jumped in and grabbed some tasks. All of it was basically the same thing, just applying the same changes to a bunch of different microservices. And so I did a lot of that. I ended up doing like a third of the work, even though there were 5 or 6 people taking tasks. So I worked a lot of extra hours then, not because I felt pressure to, but just because I just wanted to help out and get shit done, which turned out to be a mistake, because after doing that for 3 days in a row, then my wrists were really sore, and I kind of figured it would just go away. And so I waited a week and it didn't. And so at that point I started not fishing still, working a bit less hours per day, and not doing as much training at the gym. Because I think, the fact that I'm working at the computer all day, then I go to the gym and do powerlifting, and then I, do 3-tick skilling in the evening, it's just too much. So it was a combination of all of those, I think, that caused the wrist strain. So I kind of just been taking it easy and doing just AFKing woodcutting when I'm playing the game. It's a lot less clicks. And I finally got an appointment with a specialist, a orthopedist, who specializes in like hand and forearm and elbow and whatever. So I saw that person today, and they diagnosed it as tendonitis in a few different places. It's mainly in my thumb tendon, actually. The tendon connects to the thumb and like that side of the wrist, a couple of the tendons there, which is kind of weird because like I'm not really using my thumb. It's like I'm clicking with my index finger, obviously, but I don't know. I don't really understand it. So I might try a vertical mouse. People say that helps. I've been wearing like wrist braces at night that keep your wrist from bending, because that's supposed to help. And they referred me to do some physical therapy to help like work on the tendon, like strength, flexibility, whatever. I don't totally understand, but hopefully that'll help, and hopefully I can get back to some click intensive stuff soon, and also get back into powerlifting training, because it's been kind of shitty and demotivating to just be like sitting around AFKing U's and sticking my finger at my butt and doing nothing all day. I want to get back to working on my goals. But at least I've gained a lot of woodcutting XP, especially from all the forestry, because I've just been like camping forestry nonstop. So those are going up at least. I've been working on getting voice crack there. Been working on getting free-to-play Ironman EHP rates adjusted a little bit also, because right now you get EHP for woodcutting XP still, which you shouldn't anymore, because you can get so much zero-time woodcut from fire making plus canoe RC plus now forestry events. So I'm on a pretty high EHP week right now, but it's just because I have a lot of woodcutting XP gained, and all of that should be 0. So even though I'm on like a 60 or something, I should be on like a 40. So, and I'll lose like 300 EHP once those go into effect. But it'll be accurate. That's what matters. I don't really want my numbers to be inflated and have a false sense of my account. So those hopefully will be done soon. I've been waiting on those changes for months, but I finally bothered Michaela from Temple again. So I think he's actually doing it this time. Because with forestry, it's just like way too free to get all that woodcutting XP. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I guess hopefully I'll be able to recover the wrists and make whatever adjustments. I think my the ergonomics of my setup, as far as I am aware, are pretty good, but it's probably just an overuse issue. So I'll try to make some adjustments to the ergo if I find anything wrong, and mostly just kind of rest up and hope that I can resume this goal. Definitely suck if I can't continue doing click intensive skilling, because that's what I enjoy the most in this game. But if it has to go for a longer term, I'll probably just do something lower APM for 1-to-1 EHP, like crafting or rune crafting. Not the most exciting skills or skills that I really planned on training, but it's a way to get 1-1 EHP with a lot less clicking than 3 ticking, so it's better than just AFKing these for like 0.6 all day. So if I have to pause it long term, that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Short little ramble. Thanks everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or topics, or if you enjoy this type of video. I can make more in the future. It's really easy to make. It takes 15 minutes to record. So yeah, thank you all. Hope you enjoyed, and keep getting those XP gains.